Ayaan was a quiet boy. He always sat in the last row of his classroom, his head bowed low, avoiding eye contact whenever possible. He rarely spoke, not because he had nothing to say, but because he was afraid. He was terrified of being judged, of being laughed at, of hearing those dreaded words. Not good enough. This fear was a constant companion, a shadow that followed him everywhere. He was trapped in a relentless cycle of comparison. To him, his friend was smarter, his cousin was richer, his neighbor was more confident. Everyone seemed to have something he lacked, and with each comparison, with each perceived shortcoming, the feeling grew. Slowly, insidiously, Ayaan started hating himself. He carried this heavy burden through his days at school and brought it home with him at night. The mirror became his enemy, a reflection of everything he believed was wrong with him. Every evening, he would stand in front of it, tracing the lines of his face, scrutinizing his body, replaying every mistake he'd made that day. He'd whisper to his reflection, his voice filled with a quiet desperation. Why am I like this? His phone offered no escape either. He'd scroll endlessly through social media, following people who seemed to have it all. Perfect bodies, perfect lives, perfect smiles. A constant stream of curated highlights that made his own life feel dull and insignificant in comparison. He never saw their struggles, their moments of doubt, or their private failures. He only saw their victory laps, their polished perfection. And with every post, every picture, his heart felt heavier, sinking deeper into a pit of self-loathing and despair. The world online seemed so bright, making his own reality feel unbearably dark. One day, the pressure he felt finally came to a head. The results for an important exam were posted. As he scanned the list, his heart pounded in his chest. His friends' names were all there, under the past column. His was not. The world seemed to stop for a moment. Some classmates pointed and laughed. Others simply ignored him, as if he had become invisible. One person walked by and muttered, "You are useless." Those 3 words hit him like a physical blow, shattering the fragile armor he wore. They broke him. He stumbled home, locked himself in his room, and cried. He cried for his failure, for his inadequacy, for the overwhelming feeling of being completely alone. He thought to himself, maybe they're right. Maybe I really am nothing. That night was the darkest of his life. He felt completely lost, adrift in a sea of failure and shame. In that moment of profound pain, he almost gave up on himself entirely. The next morning, the sun rose, but Ayaan felt no warmth. He dragged himself to school, expecting another day of judgment and ridicule. But then, something unexpected happened. His teacher called him over. She didn't look angry or disappointed. Instead, she looked at him with a kind of gentle understanding that caught him off guard. She looked directly into his eyes and asked, "Ayaan, do you know why diamonds are so valuable?" He just shook his head. "Confused," she replied softly. "Because they are made under immense pressure." She paused, letting the words sink in. Then she continued, her voice full of conviction. "Every strong person you see was once broken. Every successful person was once scared. And every confident person was once insecure." She gave him a small, reassuring smile and added, "Nobody is perfect, Ayaan. Not even the people you admire online. Their lives are not as flawless as they seem." Those words echoed in Ayaan's mind long after he left her classroom. They were a lifeline, a glimmer of hope in the darkness that had surrounded him. A shift began to happen within him. It wasn't a dramatic, overnight transformation, but a slow, quiet turning point. He made a conscious decision to change his focus. He started to unfollow the accounts that made him feel inadequate. He stopped the relentless comparison. Instead of fixating on what others had, he started learning, focusing on his own path. He began to accept his mistakes, not as proof of his worthlessness, but as opportunities to grow. He started working on his weaknesses, not out of self-hatred, but with a newfound sense of purpose. And most importantly, in a quiet moment of profound grace, he forgave himself. He forgave himself for not being perfect. Months passed. The seeds of change planted by his teacher began to sprout and grow. Ayaan improved, steadily and surely. His grades started to climb. As he focused more on his own efforts and less on other successes, his confidence began to blossom. A genuine smile returned to his face, one that reached his eyes. People started to notice the difference, not because he had suddenly become perfect, but because he had become real. He was no longer hiding in the shadows. He was brave enough to try again, even after failing. He was brave enough to be seen, imperfections and all. His journey was one of growth, not through achieving flawlessness, but through embracing his imperfection. He learned that his value wasn't tied to his successes, but to his resilience. Today, Ayaan is successful, not because he finally became perfect or because he has no more flaws. He is successful because he learned to accept himself, completely and unconditionally. He found his worth not in the absence of weakness, but in the courage to face it. Remember this story. You don't have to be perfect to be valuable. Your scars are not signs of damage. They are symbols of your strength, proof that you have healed. Your mistakes are not your identity. They are your greatest lessons, guiding you toward wisdom. Your unique journey, with all its twists and turns, is your beauty. So please, love yourself. Be kind to yourself, because nobody is perfect. And that's what makes you special. Your imperfections are not flaws to be hidden. They are the very things that make you uniquely, wonderfully you. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe to Narravo for more stories that inspire and uplift.